Sector of Golodayivka, end of November 1941, Eastern Front. 8,000 soldiers of the Slovakian Fast Division are in defense against the first Soviet winter offensive. The Soviet 37th Army is trying to break through the Slovakian positions. After artillery duels and heavy mortar bombardment came the infantry assault. Now it's time to deploy the machine guns and rifles. Primary weapon of the Slovakian Army at that time was the repeating rifle Model 24 or VZ-24. It was adopted by the Czechoslovakian Army in the year 1924 as a modernized version of the German Mauser 98. The biggest improvements included the shortening of the barrel, better front handguard, new cover for the front sights, and addition of side swivel rings. Most of these improvements were done so that the rifle could be used by mounted artillery and cavalry. The year 1921 saw the first purchase of 57,000 rifles and 2.5 million rifle rounds from Netherlands. These were used rifles from the First World War, but the Czechoslovakian Ministry of Defense was still very impressed with them and decided to replace the existing Mannlicher rifles with the new Mauser system. Czechoslovakia bought machinery and patents from Germany, and from 1922 started to produce first rifles of the Mauser system. In the following 2 years was the design improved in the versions 98/22, 23, 23A, and finally 24. Although the ministry finally settled on the Model 24, due to some technical difficulties, the real mass production started only in the year 1925. Along with the rifle, it was also decided to adopt the German 8mm cartridge for light and heavy machine guns. Initial production was slow. In the first year of production, a skilled worker could complete only 31 rifles per year. 5 years later, it was already 75 rifles. The production started in the Brno factory, followed in the year 1936 by a second factory in the Slovakian town of Považská Bystrica. At the height of the production, both factories could produce 1,200 rifles daily. The total production of the rifle for the Czechoslovakian Army was 762,000 units. This was followed by a Romanian order for additional 750,000 rifles. Other customers included China with 200,000 rifles and Bolivia with 100,000. The strategic reserves of rifle and machine gun ammunition at the start of the German aggression against Czechoslovakia was 99 million rifle rounds. The VZ-24 didn't see combat in the year 1939 against Germany. The government in Prague capitulated to German demands, while Slovakia declared independence and allied itself with Germany. Slovakian Army followed the Wehrmacht in the campaigns against Poland and the Soviet Union. It continued to use the pre-war equipment, including the VZ-24 rifles. Pre-war stocks were additionally supplemented by production of the factory in Považská Bystrica, which also produced K98 rifles for the Wehrmacht. VZ-24 proved to be the most reliable weapon of the Slovakian Army. Its weight was 4.2 kilograms, total length was 1,100 millimeters, with the length of the barrel being 590 millimeters. The maximum range was 2,000 meters. Rifles were issued with the Bayonet model 1924, which took some of its features from the Mannlicher bayonet, while being longer and more durable. Other features of the rifle were very similar to the well-known Mauser design and, as such, were superior to the Soviet Mosin Nagant rifles. Slovakian forces used their rifles in the Operation Barbarossa, during the Battle of Lipovec, and also in the defense on the Mius River. In the summer of 1942, when the Slovakian Fast Division conquered Rostov and crossed the Don, 9 out of 10 of its soldiers were carrying the VZ-24 rifle. The rifle was then used in harsh conditions in the Caucasus and also in brutal and savage anti-partisan warfare. By 1944, Slovakian forces were largely withdrawn from the Eastern Front, following a series of major defeats of the Wehrmacht. In the summer of 1944, the military leadership of Slovakia initiated an uprising against the pro-German government. All that was left from the Slovakian Army, approximately 40,000 soldiers and volunteers, fought for 2 months against the Wehrmacht in an effort to defend central parts of Slovakia. And that was the final chapter of the service life of the VZ-24 in the Slovakian Army. It traveled for thousands of miles and fought for 5 years. But in the end, it was at last employed in the role for which it was originally designed: to defend the Czechoslovakian soil from Nazi Germany. Thank you for watching.